father was known by many different names throughout his life, but to my sister and brother and I, he was always just Dad. As a father, he taught us the usual things a father teaches his children: how to ride a two-wheel bike, how to throw a 40-yard spiral pass, how to make the perfect omelet. But I'm pretty sure that we were the only kids in Kenilworth, Illinois during the early 60s who knew how to raise, lower, and fold the American flag military style. He taught me the importance of listening. I've never forgotten a story he once told me about sitting in a client meeting and getting frustrated as a colleague blathered on in such a way that indicated that the guy was not listening to the client. He needed to shut the guy up, but in a tactful way. So the following day, he had small business cards printed up with just the word "listen" on them. And when it happened again, all he had to do was pass a card under the table discreetly to the offending oaf. He taught me that it's the idea that's important, not who gets the credit. He loved nurturing people and ideas. He was always the best person to go to for advice on anything. He had that special ability of helping you sort things out so you could then come to your own decision. He believed in putting your money where your mouth was. And in our house in Kenilworth, we strictly adhered to that. We flew the friendly skies, did the laundry with cheer, fed the cats 9 lives. We ate green giant frozen peas, baked Pillsbury cakes, had Kellogg's Rice Krispies for breakfast, loved Nestle's $100,000 bars, drank Nestea and Taster's Choice, and we were glad that there was Tums. And I was the only girl in my dorm who arrived at college with a case of Star-Kissed albacore white tuna and a can opener. It came in really handy, too. He was the smartest person I've ever known, and it was nearly impossible to outsmart him. For his 50th birthday, my sister Babs and I attempted to throw him a small surprise party at our house. Knowing Dad's routine, we had everyone assembled in the living room by 6:15, waiting for his arrival up the driveway at his usual 65 miles per hour. When we heard the car, we dimmed the lights and waited for him to enter through the back door, and waited, until suddenly the front door opened and in came Dad yelling, "Surprise!" I guess he'd driven down the front of the house and seen everyone standing in the living room windows. He was smart enough to let us make our own mistakes, not always easy for a parent. Like him, we learned from them. He taught us how to hammer in a nail, drive a stick-shift car, hold a camera, and eat escargot. This is a guy who grew up on the west side of Chicago. He had beautiful penmanship. He was funny, very kind-hearted, and extremely organized. My mother always got a kick out of alphabetizing the spice rack. He loved to sing and make up the lyrics as he went. He loved a good story, and he was a master at telling them himself. He loved Hackney burgers on rye, Homer's coffee ice cream, peanut butter, and seeing how many times he could get Jenna Lou to agree to another move. He loved being a grandfather, but of course he didn't go by just one name. On the East Coast, he was Baba Jack. On the West Coast and in the Midwest, he was Grandpa Jack. But of course, he always signed his many cards and letters, GP Jack. Whenever I would call him up to recite some experience or adventure or a situation at work, he would always inquire, "But are you having fun?" Because after all, it wasn't worth it if you weren't having any fun. You made it challenging and demanding at times, but Dad, it was always fun. So thanks, Dad, and tally-ho. John.